Been a bit since I've looked into Goosebumps, so let's fix that. And also come clean. I had been meaning to do these episodes for a little bit before, but just had no motivation to actually do it after I started watching it. But now that some time has passed and my head has cooled off, I think it's time to look at them properly. The story of a haunted camera that will catch how one will die. This is Say Cheese and Die. It opens up outside a factory with a creepy old guy inventor nicknamed Spider/Spidey, leaving while a group of kids mock him from afar. And, like any kid, they decide to explore the building before it'll be knocked down and come across his lab and funky camera. Really curious how the prop designers came up with this design, because it is very weird, yet also very memorable. However, after taking a photo of his friend, the boy falls off the stairs and they get caught by the crazy man on their way out. Thankfully that stair was broken, as it is the sole reason they can escape, but our main boy Greg has accidentally stolen the strange camera, and sees that the photo he took was of the events that had yet to unfold. Like I said in the intro, it is a camera that can foresee events yet to come, usually ones of danger. He then takes a photo of his brother, but doesn't show it to him, and comes up with a lie about it taking a while to develop. But when we see the photo, the car's front is smashed in. So, at dinner, Greg tries to get his dad to return the car out of fear that the photo's future will come true. Unfortunately, the family take his reluctance and challenge it by taking the car for a little drive. As a last-ditch effort, he tries to show them the photo, but fails to before an oncoming truck almost hits them and puts Greg into shock. Like with Cuckoo Clock of Doom, he has a surreal dream sequence where he takes a photo of his family and sees all of them have become skeletons. And honestly, when I saw this, it actually did scare me. There's just a haunting quality to it, and the quality of the skeletons themselves is uncanny enough to get under my fur. Come morning, he talks to his friend Bird about the camera, but he just doesn't believe it. Unfortunately for them, a couple random bullies try to take the camera and use it, but Greg is able to take it back and books it in an attempt to save them. Although he gets away, he ends up in his third friend's backyard and is forced to take her picture. But she isn't there! Ooh! Before he can take her picture again, though, the brother is summoned by the force known as the Plot and tells Greg that the dad got in a car accident. Although he got away with a minor injury, the car itself is a complete wreck, meaning that the fate that is captured cannot be avoided as easily as they did that truck. Late at night, the police show up to ask Greg about his friend Sherry. Apparently she disappeared. He accidentally let slip that he knew something like this would happen, and the cops immediately jump on him about it and ask for the photograph of his friend. But since it's just a tree without her, they think he's joking and leave. Oh, and Spidey is just lurking outside, but the police don't do anything about him. Greg once again tries to explain things to Bird, but gets nowhere and frustrated. After a stray comment from Bird about how maybe Spidey kidnapped Sherry for the camera, Greg has to return it alone since Bird is a coward. When he gets there, Sherry reappears and reveals that she doesn't even know where she went and only came back around the time her photograph was ripped up. As they try to return it, Spidey reappears and drops creepy but historic lore about cameras, as well as reveals that he predicted the return of it after they saw the damage for themselves. And the clothes he wears and workspace he inhabits aren't just to make him seem creepier, but to show that he did indeed create this camera on its quest for money. However, being away for so long, he has become very paranoid and tries to hold them prisoner since they know too much and might tell others. To save Greg, Sherry takes his picture, and he instantly disappears. If they waited, though, they would realize that he has been sucked into the camera, proving the fear of the old generations true in that the camera can suck one's soul. But the camera is not yet gone, as the bullies from earlier find it and use it, releasing Spidey and ending the episode. So I guess he just kills the two bullies then. No way he just poses behind them like some creep and lets them leave. As an episode, it's fine. The supernatural bend of the camera is introduced early, the car wreck is set up and simmers in the background to make us think that fate can potentially be avoided, until the later realization destroys those thoughts. The dream in the middle is a frightening break period to set us in the mind of Greg and has done rather well since it got a scare out of me. But everything past the midway point is a bit iffy for me. Although I like the police interrogation because it adds a bit of realism to it, and the editing makes it tense, It ultimately is just so Greg can learn about Sherry's disappearance, which could have been done in a better way, like him going to meet her the next day and finding that she's missing. Also, Bird easily could have come and filled the same place that Sherry did, since she's only there to snap the photo of Spidey. Which leads me to my next point, in that I am not that attached to any of the characters. Spidey is a little more interesting after his big reveal, and the ironic ending he is given where his creation is his own downfall, but that search early in the episode I think needed a little more from him. Maybe he tries to break into Greg's home, or maybe there's a scene where he is just frantically searching the smallest of locations. But Greg, his family, friends, and bullies are just the bare minimum for characters. So, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. It's enjoyable, but it's not that great. So, with that, hey, what's going on here? Looks like you're recording something nice. Oh, yeah, just a little review. Cool. Well, don't let me yours now. See ya! Huh, hey, wait! Damn that animal speed. Well, guess there's no other option. Unless... Hey, sis? You home? Damn. Oh well. Say cheese and die again, here I come. Our story opens up in Greg's bedroom because, yep, this is the same boy from the first one in the universe. Some guy then sneaks into his room to take a picture of him, but is revealed to be... death? Man, his line of work must have really changed over the years. But no, it's all just a nightmare that he wakes up from. And unlike part 1, where the entire plot is spent with his friends, family, and the creepy abandoned building about to be condemned, this one lets us actually see Greg's school. Or at least one class right now, in which the teacher is reviewing a writing assignment with the title, The Curse of the Evil Camera. And I know it's a little cheesy to have the events of the first part become just a story to be told. I do like that they aren't simply forgotten. Even the opening had it become like a sort of PTSD triggering event. Unfortunately for him, the assignment was supposed to be a non-fictional story, and it's pretty impossible to believe this story, so he gets a failed assignment. While Mr. Sauer critiques his work, he gets flashbacks to the first episode, which is even more neat. He even gives Greg a chance to flip his grade if he provides the cursed camera, but that condition is clearly a load. His tone screams that he doesn't believe him. However, with his quest now unlocked, Greg sneaks back to the abandoned factory that Spider lived in, and is now gone. Yep, that line about them condemning and tearing the building down in the first part has actual payoff now. And luckily for Greg, the basement is somehow still intact, as well as the camera, and its ability to create unfortunate futures. As he transports it to school, Sherry confronts him and tries to take it back from him, but he accidentally snaps a photo. So as payback for her negative photo, she takes a photo of him where he is a bit heavier, which comes true next morning. And now that he's fat, all the class laughs at him. Oh no! Mr. Sauer also doesn't believe Greg's story either, even with the physical camera there, which is still rather fair. As for Sherry, the negative photo meant that she experiences rather slow weight loss that cannot be overturned, even with them attempting to take another photo. With little ideas left, they go to Greg's brother, who now works at a photo studio, to get him to invert both photos. Oh yeah, Greg's brother Terry now has a job and apparently was filled in on the evil camera. As he races against the clock to fix them, the two begin to waste away even more, but Terry comes through at the last possible second. Unfortunately, Greg's second report also gets an F from Mr. Sauer, as he tries to take the camera away and explain away Greg's instant weight gain and loss. Another accidental photo was taken, but this time of Mr. Sauer losing all his hair, which comes to pass, and that's how it ends. What a massive letdown. First off, I guess Bird moved away or something, because he is mentioned nowhere in this episode. Second, why is the brother suddenly significant now when he was extremely minor in the first parts? Third, the camera's photographs are just so weak now. The previous part had Bird falling off the stairs, the damaged car, and then Sherry physically disappearing, but this one is just Oh no, I'm gonna become fat. Oh no, this one is a negative, which means she'll invert her body weight. Oh no, the teacher's gonna go bald. It just doesn't have the punch that the first part did, which really sucks because I think they did a great job when it came to calling back to the first part and just how much it scared them. Sherry even mentions that they made a pact to never use the camera again. Maybe Greg was right in that the camera got busted sometime between episodes, since the photos are such vastly different in quality. Also, the rule that the photographs can be reversed by ripping up the photo are just conveniently forgotten. Also, where the hell was Spider? Last episode's ending made it seem like he was gonna get up to something, but he never once appears to reclaim the camera or even go after Greg. I guess Wolf was right in that he just killed those bullies and dipped. At the end of this, I'm just stuck not liking this episode much. The plot itself starts with the lowest stakes of stealing the camera in order to reverse his grade on a report, then suddenly becoming about Greg and Sherry's lives being in danger and needing his older brother for help right at the end, and being left off at a joke ending. So this is gonna get a 3 out of 10. That 3 is really only because of how it handles the after effects of the first part as well. Oh hey, you're done. Yeah, no thanks to you. You gave me the worst one, you little jerk. I didn't know it would turn out like that, believe me. I don't even remember watching that episode after all. Well, what's done is done. All that's left to do is hope that you all enjoyed this video and have a good day. Bye-bye!